Before I react to something in life, a message, a mistake, a memory, do I become bitter? Do I become blank? Or do I become a little creative about it? I'm Akash, trying to make astrology simple for you. Today I want to talk about the fifth house in Vedic astrology. This house, focused on disposition, perceptions, and knowledge, is like my personal center for inspiration. If the third house is my speak-up muscle, and the sixth house is my fight-back muscle, then the fifth house is my heart-brain combo, where my mind, mood, and imagination sit together and plan how I experience life. What is the fifth house in simple words? In plain language, the fifth house shows how I look at life, my perception, how I feel inside, my disposition, my default mood, and how I learn, think, and create knowledge and inspiration. I like to imagine my fifth house as the balcony of my mind. From here, I watch the world and decide, am I going to see this as a problem, a lesson, a joke, or an opportunity? Disposition, my inner weather. Every day, life sends me small scenes. Someone cuts in front of me in traffic. My boss sends a short, slightly rude email. A plan with friends gets canceled last minute. My fifth house quietly controls my inner weather. Do I become instantly irritated and stay angry for hours? Do I brush it off and move on? Or do I laugh, make a small joke, and not let it spoil my mood? I see it clearly in the morning. I spill a little tea, miss my bus by 1 minute, and my phone battery is low. Now my fifth house decides, is my whole day ruined? Or, okay, chalo, reset. It's just a rough start, not a rough life. That basic tone with which I live my day, slightly hopeful, slightly negative, playful, serious, that's my fifth house disposition. Perceptions. The story I tell myself about situations. The fifth house also shows how I interpret what happens. For example, a friend doesn't reply to my message for 2 days. One perception. They don't care about me. Another perception. They must be busy. I'll check on them later. I make a small mistake in a presentation. One perception. I'm useless. I always mess up. Another perception. Okay, next time I'll double check. I'm learning. In both cases, the event is the same. The story I tell myself inside is different. That inner storyteller, the one choosing between I'm a victim, I'm unlucky, I'm learning, I can try again, lives in my fifth house. Knowledge. How my mind loves to learn. The fifth house is also strongly connected to knowledge, study, and intelligence. Not just school marks, but the way my mind likes to explore and understand. I see it when I randomly go down a YouTube rabbit hole about history, science, astrology, psychology. Not for exams, just because I'm curious. I enjoy explaining something clearly to a friend or younger cousin. I learned from movies, books, podcasts, not just from classrooms. It's that feeling of, I want to understand this, not just hear it. When my fifth house is active in a good way, I notice I don't get bored so easily if I'm learning something new. I enjoy thinking, connecting dots, asking why and how. My brain doesn't just run on fear or gossip, it also runs on ideas. Inspiration and creativity, my inner creative child. For me, the sweetest part of the fifth house is inspiration. It's there when I watch a movie and suddenly feel like writing something, painting something, making a reel, composing a line of poetry in my head. I see a child playing and get a random idea for a game, a story, a way to teach them something fun. I'm sitting on a balcony at sunset and my mind naturally drifts into imagination. What if I did this? What if I tried that? The fifth house doesn't demand that I become a professional artist. It just asks, do you allow yourself to play, imagine, and create? Or have you become all problem, no joy? Even simple things count. The way I decorate my desk, the way I write a birthday message, the way I think of solutions at work. All of this is fifth house creativity. The fifth house in daily Indian life. Some small scenes I see my fifth house when. I'm helping a child with homework, and I turn it into a fun story instead of just scolding. I'm at a family function, slightly bored, but I start observing people and making light, harmless commentary in my head, almost like I'm watching a web series. I'm stuck in a long queue, and instead of only complaining, I put on a podcast, think through an idea, or just watch people with curiosity. It's the difference between, I'm stuck in this stupid situation, and, okay, while I'm here, what can I learn, observe, or create in my mind? That shift is pure fifth house magic. A few questions I ask myself. When I look at my own fifth house, I like to pause and honestly ask, what is my default mood? Slightly hopeful or slightly hopeless? When something bad happens, is my first thought, why me? Or, what can I learn from this? Am I feeding my mind only with stress and gossip, or also with ideas, knowledge, and inspiration? When was the last time I did something creative just for joy, not for money, not for marks, not for social media likes? Because the real gift of the fifth bhava is this. It reminds me that life is not only about surviving problems. It is also about enjoying ideas, playing with possibilities, and keeping my inner child alive. Once I started understanding my own fifth house, I noticed, even on difficult days, if I let my mind stay curious and a little creative, my heart felt lighter. My perspective became kinder, and inspiration quietly started returning. If you want to see what your fifth house says about your disposition, your perception, and your personal center of inspiration, visit astrology.com for instant astrology.